Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we're going to dive into who the Summerween Trickster is. One of the creepiest, most fascinating, coolest, and most memorable monsters or entities we've encountered in the Gravity Falls universe. The Summerween Trickster is an entity that appears in the town of Gravity Falls during the peculiar celebration of Summerween, which takes place in the middle of summer. This being serves, in a way, as the personification of this festival, ensuring its day is honored and that children celebrate Summerween. It brutally punishes those who disobey this tradition. Although many believe it to be just a local legend in Gravity Falls, a tale told to scare children, that's not the case. This entity truly exists and comes face to face with the protagonists, Dipper and Mabel Pines, along with their friends. In this video, I'll explain in detail the story and origins of the Summerween Trickster. Then I'll discuss its physical appearance, what we know about its personality and behavior, its incredible abilities, and what journal number 3 says about this monster. The Summerween Trickster is a mysterious creature, a type of cryptid, that is part of the local legends of the strange town of Gravity Falls. According to the town's stories, this creature punishes children who lack the Summerween spirit and refuse to celebrate the festival. The Summerween Trickster serves as the main antagonist of the episode titled Summerween from the first season of Gravity Falls. In this episode, it is explained that the townspeople celebrate Halloween twice a year, once in autumn and again in the middle of summer. They do this simply because they love the holiday so much. On this day, an entity appears to punish those who lack the Summerween spirit. This creature can be summoned when someone misbehaves or refuses to directly participate in the celebrations. Supernaturally, this being knows who isn't celebrating and who deserves punishment. The story of the Summerween Trickster is incredibly interesting and mysterious. While much of it is revealed in the animated series, journal number 3 also provides some fascinating insights about this creature. The Summerween Trickster first appears in some bushes outside the Mystery Shack after Dipper Pines throws out some candies, deeming them of poor quality, stale, and practically inedible. Shortly after, the creature knocks on the shack's door. When Dipper answers, he is met with the monster who asks for trick or treat. However, since Dipper doesn't want to celebrate the day and doesn't want to be seen as immature, he rudely slams the door in the entity's face, saying he's too old to go trick-or-treating and telling it to leave. At that moment, the monster is wearing a costume resembling a scarecrow's outfit, with a mask that looks like a smiling face. The being continues to knock on the door, and Mabel, Dipper's sister, decides to open it to apologize, thinking it's just a person. The Summerween Trickster, feeling insulted, declares that it has been offended. At that moment, a small child named Gorny arrives at the shack to trick-or-treat. The monster grabs the child and devours him in one brutal bite. Then, the creature tells Mabel, Dipper, and their friends that if they don't want to end up inside him like Gorny, they must gather and deliver 500 pieces of candy before the last watermelon goes out. This is because, during the Summerween celebration, it's summer, and people use watermelons instead of pumpkins to decorate their homes. After saying this, the creature begins climbing onto the roof of the shack in a terrifying manner, moving much like a spider. It's a very unexpected scene. Dipper, who didn't want to celebrate Summerween because he planned to go to a party with his friend Wendy, is forced to go trick-or-treating, knowing that if he doesn't, the monster will eat him. Initially, Dipper refuses to wear a costume, and because of this, the kids collect very few candies after visiting the first house. This prompts the trickster to reappear and warn them that time is running out, reminding them what will happen if they don't deliver the 500 candies soon. This terrifies the kids, leading Dipper to finally agree to wear a costume. With the costume on, the kids manage to collect all the candy the creature demanded. However, when they head back to Seuss's van, Wendy, Dipper's friend, passes by. Embarrassed, Dipper removes his costume and hides the candy behind a bush. Unfortunately, the candy falls into a small stream, where it mixes with dirty water from the sewers. This horrifies the kids as they realize they've lost all the candy and won't be able to fulfill the deal. The Summerween Trickster reappears, aware that the kids don't have the candy, and confronts them one final time. In this encounter, the creature attacks, sprouting additional arms from its back to capture them. Just as it's about to devour them, Seuss arrives in his van and runs over the monster, which surprisingly causes it to explode into many pieces. Believing the creature is dead, Seuss and the kids drive away in the van. However, as they leave, the pieces of the monster begin to reassemble, forming a grotesque but terrifying beast that quickly and effectively chases after them. The group of kids and Seuss end up crashing into the town's Summerween store, where they manage to hide effectively. The monster starts searching for them relentlessly, and with only one exit, they find themselves trapped. Eventually, Seuss and the kids manage to trick the monster and nearly escape the store. However, Seuss accidentally activates a noisy toy skull, alerting the monster, which devours him. The kids use toy weapons to fight the Summerween Trickster, causing the monster to reveal its true form, a grotesque creature made of rotten candy. The monster explains that it was born when the children of Gravity Falls discarded ugly and stale candies. Although it's not explained exactly how this happened, it's suggested that interdimensional portals and Bill Cipher's presence in the town may have played a role. Thus, a monster made of discarded candy was created. I propose the theory that the Summerween Trickster might have originated as a local legend used to scare young children. However, due to the interdimensional portals and the strange energy of Gravity Falls, the beliefs of the children and townspeople gave the trickster strength, allowing it to manifest as a sort of physical tulpa that now haunts the town during Summerween. Interestingly, this entity only appears on this specific date, as it isn't directly mentioned in Journal Number 3 like some of the other monsters investigated by Stanford Pines. The only information about it comes from Dipper's account of his encounter with the entity. Before the monster finishes off the kids and eats them, Seuss emerges from the creature's body as if he were some kind of alien or xenomorph. He then begins eating the creature, which ultimately kills the Summerween Trickster. Interestingly, the monster seems happy as Seuss devours him, perceiving himself as a delicious candy. This is where the creature finally meets its end. The young boy Gorney is also safe and survives the entire ordeal, though he mentions being traumatized. This is where the story of the Summerween Trickster in Gravity Falls concludes. Now that we've thoroughly covered the story and origins of the monster, I want to talk about its physical appearance, abilities, and what Journal Number 3 says about this creature. The Summerween Trickster, in its initial form, appears as a tall, humanoid being with purple skin. According to Dipper in Journal Number 3, it stands just over 10 feet, 3.1 meters tall. It has two extremely thin arms and legs that resemble tree branches. In this form, it wears an old outfit similar to a scarecrow's and a worn hat resembling the one worn by the town eccentric McGucket. Its most memorable physical feature is its face, though in reality, we don't actually see it because it wears a mask shaped like a happy face with a visible tooth. However, this appearance is a facade. Eventually, it's revealed that the Summerween Trickster is a being made entirely of candy and capable of shape-shifting at will. In its true form, the monster is no longer thin and has many limbs. Its grotesque face is composed of a mix of candies such as mints, lollipops, and even licorice. Interestingly, its nose resembles that of a humanoid skull. This being possesses very interesting abilities that make it a formidable enemy. The Summerween Trickster is incredibly fast and agile, capable of moving on both two legs and in a quadrupedal stance. In the latter, its movements resemble those of a spider, making it faster and more unnatural. Additionally, it can regenerate from any physical damage, including lost limbs, and can even grow extra arms. It can jump very high, easily reaching the roofs of buildings, and is incredibly strong, able to overpower people with its hands, and rip the door off a vehicle with little effort. Its most notable ability is a kind of clairvoyance that allows it to know when someone disrespects its holiday. It can also shapeshift to become faster and more efficient. This being can devour an adult in a single bite, and wherever it appears, it causes strange phenomena, such as flickering lights and unnatural winds. On one occasion, it's shown that the creature can light a watermelon simply by touching it with its finger, confirming its incredible supernatural abilities. In journal number 3, Dipper describes the Summerween Trickster as one of the scariest monsters he's encountered in the town. He also mentions that its limbs are abnormal, giving it a creepy appearance. According to Dipper, the creature is easily offended, has a deep voice, and every time it transforms, its clothing tears apart, which is why its outfit is full of patched-up seams. Dipper recounts that the monster revealed its true form after chasing them all over town for an entire night. He states that the trickster is composed of discarded candies from over 30 years, and that its sole purpose is to be eaten by someone. Although this is mentioned as its primary purpose, the Gravity Falls Online game implies that the trickster killed and devoured young people, such as Jerry Fresh, Byron, and Rossi. In the game, their graves appear with epitaphs, mentioning how they lost their lives after encountering the Summerween Trickster. This suggests that this entity not only terrified many people over the years, but also murdered them. The show's creator, Alex Hirsch, commented that he based the concept of the Summerween Trickster on Sam from the movie Trick or Treat. He was also inspired by Germanic legends about Krampus and the design of No-Face from the film Spirited Away. This explains why the monster wears a mask and why its second form resembles the anime character. Personally, I've always found this character to be very interesting. Its design and concept are amazing, and I think they were executed incredibly well in the series. I prefer its initial design because it's more mysterious and terrifying, especially when it adopts a quadrupedal stance to climb the roof of the Mystery Shack. Overall, I consider it to be one of the best monsters in Gravity Falls due to its design and concept. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Did you already know about the Summerween Trickster from Gravity Falls? Were you familiar with its story and origins? Which of its forms is your favorite and why? Share your answers and overall thoughts about the Summerween Trickster from this epic and entertaining animated series. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and share it to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos.